Hello friends, welcome to One-to-One Teaching. In this particular video, we are going to talk about data types in C. Firstly, before coming into the categories of data types, let us understand what is the need of data type. We know we write int A, int B, int C, C is equal to A plus B. So what is the need of a data type? It is just an attribute of the data. it it tells the compiler or the interpreter that this is what the programmer intends to do with the data. For example, if we are calculating the area of a circle, in that case we would be expecting more of fractional numbers as our output. So if we use the data type float over there, it is an indication that the output or the result which we would be getting would be a real number. It may be a fractional number. And other than that, the utility of data type is that what would be the storage? What would be the amount of memory that would be allocated to that variable? So data type gives that indication also. How much memory would that particular variable require? So coming to C, in C there are three different classes of data types. One is basic, derived, and user-defined data types. So in this video, we are going to talk about fundamental data types because derived and user-defined data types, each one of them like pointers, functions, structures, they are unique concepts of their own and they require their own different separate demonstration. So coming to fundamental data types, these are the data types which are already built in the language. Basic data types are again divided into four parts: integer, character, float, and void. We see that integer is again divided into two parts: signed and unsigned. So the very name signed and unsigned tells us that there is some matter of sign maybe. So signed integers, in signed integers, say we have a 16-bit signed integer. 1 bit would be reserved for just the sign. Means it can be a positive number or a negative number. Whereas in unsigned, all the 16 bits would just be reserved for showing the number itself. There would be no special bit reserved for showing the sign. Now, you may have a question that, so could we represent negative numbers with the help of unsigned integers? The answer is no. The reverse is possible. We may assign signed integers to unsigned integers, but a negative number cannot be represented using an unsigned integer. Only 0 and positive numbers could be represented by unsigned integers. Integers, they are used to represent whole numbers. The very old concept which we know that for different types of work we would need different range of integers. Like say I'm working with 8 students and I'm going to assign a number to them, 1 to 8. So each, the range of integers which I'm using is very small. Whereas if I'm going to calculate the salary of any employee, in considering that the salary would be a whole number, the range would be higher. So then again comes subdivisions in integers. It could be it could be a normal integer, it could be short, or it could be long. We'll come into the range later into this video, in bytes which the integer occupies. Then we come to characters, char variables. So char data type or character type, this is generally used to store characters. Now we may have certain questions after seeing the range of character data types. So before that, we would discuss float and void. So floating data types, they are used to represent real numbers. And again, this division between float, double, and long double is that depends upon the precision. So the accuracy or the precision of the floating point number can again be subdivided, with float having the lowest precision and long double having the highest precision. Next we come to void. Void indicates that there is no particular data type. In many cases, say we are working with any function, so we may want that our function will return a value. So when we require the function to return a value, we give a corresponding data type. For example, considering my older example where we are calculating the area of a circle in a particular function, and we want to return that value to some other calling function. So for that, we may require a data type before the function name. Say the data type is float. But there can be another scenario as well. We are calculating the area within the function itself, and we are printing the value of the area in the very same function. Then we are just calling that function from another function, and the result gets displayed on its own. We are not assigning the value returned by this function to some other calling functions variable. So in such a case, we would not require this function to return any value. So a void data type generally does not return any value. We can say that it's a sort of generic data type. Now, coming to this table, we have the data type and the range of each of these fundamental data types. We can see that signed and unsigned char, they are assigned a range. Signed char is assigned a range of minus 128 to plus 127, unsigned char to 0 to 255. So then may be a question that char is used to store characters, not numbers. So why this range? The answer is that in memory, characters are stored in their ASCII codes. For example, the character A has the ASCII code of 65. But in memory, A is not stored. Capital A is not stored, but 65 is stored in binary format. So, this range. Similarly, we have the range for all the other data types in bytes. So, if we notice, we will see that short, within all the integers, short has 2 bytes. Normal integer also has 2 bytes. Now this is mostly compiler dependent, because for a 16-bit compiler we generally have this size in bytes, but it may not be the same for all compilers. Again, if we consider long type integers, we would see that the size in bytes is 4. For float, we see that the size in bytes is 4, but for long double, the size in byte is 10. So there is a matter of precision here. We may say that if you want to be more accurate, we will use long double mm, data type, and if you want to be less precise, we may use float as well. So here we come to the end of the concept of data types. Um, a very A good concept of data types would help us in choosing the correct type for our variables. And it is one of the aspects of a good programmer to choose the data type wisely. If we want more, suppose we are working with decimal numbers, we want more precise result. So if somebody chooses double and another one chooses long double, so the second person gets a greater accuracy. So the importance of data type lies in the fact is that how the programmer is intending to play with the data, what work it is doing, how much memory would be assigned to that data. So this entire game is being ruled by the data type we give to the variables during variable declaration. So this was all for fundamental data types in C. Stay tuned with us.